Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the Who Even Us podcast. On today's episode, we discuss all things the future of PT. We discuss AI and how we think that might integrate in our roles. Will it take over our roles as PTs? And we talk about a couple of different technological innovations that are happening in the industry that we probably haven't heard about as a general population, and how we think those different things will integrate with gyms or PTs in the future. What's news for you guys?
I've been thinking about it, and I don't know still.
No news.
Well, I had a pretty good weekend. Went to the footy, went to VR. That was good fun, but that's kind of boring to talk about. What's there to talk about?
Where did you go? VR? Virtual reality?
Yeah, like the ones where you walk around the room with the gun and you got the VR on. So you're actually not standing in the spot. There's a few of them. There's one at Le Mans where in Danny.
The go-kart? Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually...
Was it fun?
Yeah, I've done it once before, like a year ago. It's really good fun. Like...
What's the cost though? Because I feel like that's the...
It's $50.
For the...
Half an hour.
For half an hour?
But half an hour is plenty... Like, you get pretty sweaty. Because you're walking around...
You get sweaty?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Is it like real-time GTA or
So
something?
you're in a room with other people
Then
and,
it's like a
you've all got an
massive factory.
objective. So you've got to
so it's like
shoot
paintball
zombies
kind
or...
of-
No, you're shooting like...
Oh, you're not shooting people?
The people in the room are on your team. And your goal,
Like
like
laser
there's
tag?
different games. Yeah, but there's different games. So like one of them's like you got to kill zombies. I did the Far Cry one, which was like there's bad guys just shooting you from different like cliff faces and temple and
Who
stuff.
did you do this with?
My friends.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd done it before and I'm like, this is like, was really fun. And then I did it with my friends and they all enjoyed it. Like, I think it's worth the $50 for sure.
Okay.
At least to try once, because it's a cool experience. I've done it once before.
Yeah, and it's very immersive. Even though graphically, like, it's probably PS3 graphics, really.
Yeah.
Like, and VR, like, is not at the point where the
But if you're not a gamer,
What
you
do you
wouldn't
call
know.
it?
You
No,
wouldn't
the
know.
graphics don't matter because, like,
The experience.
there's no lag. When you
Yeah.
when you tilt your head, the world moves. When you walk around, it walks around like it feels
That's cool.
real.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, I'd done the one in Docklands, but yeah, they opened up the
um,
one in Dandy recently, so it's good for
Is
this
it better,
area.
Docklands?
Is that recent?
They're the same.
I tried that ages ago.
Oh, maybe it's been there.
I think it's been
just
there for a
didn't
while
realise.
because someone
in
that
Dandy.
someone that did work placement at Waverley Park, so that's years and years ago for me. He was the manager there, and he invited us down to test it before they launched it. So like me and a couple of friends went down to just try it out. We got to do it for free.
The cool thing too, right, is so there's only a maximum 8 people in the session.
Yep.
And because of that, the winner of each game. So like I did it twice because there was a spare ticket. But in the second game, I came first on the leaderboard. So you get points as well. Like although it's like a team game where you sort of all have the same objective to kill zombies or bad guys or whatever. You also get scored on how many kills you got individually and how many headshots you got and things like that. And if you get the most points at the end, they give you a voucher for another free game.
No, that's alright.
So you got a 1 in 8
Eight
chance.
chance.
Sometimes, like the first game, there was only 6 of us. Like 1 in 6 chance of actually getting a free game again
Yeah.
the next time you go. So.
But it's pretty smart marketing from them because you're not going to do it by yourself.
No.
So they've
yeah.
given you a free one, which then you will work out how to
To
organise
bring
a bunch of friends to go and do
friends
it.
through,
So
yeah.
that-
because the group after the booking I had, so
Yeah.
8 p.m,
Yeah.
was a bunch of like 10-year-old boys, and
Yeah.
those boys, I've never heard higher pitched squealing in my life.
you don't want to be in that group.
It didn't.
No.
It was
Yeah.
so loud. They were running around. They were
was like a
running into
birthday
each other
party or
on
something,
purpose.
right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough about me.
Yeah.
Hawks won. That's pretty good. but
Yeah.
I won't brag about
Hawkball?
it too yet.
Cool.
I'll wait till we're.
Is that what the thing is? Is it hockball?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But
What the hell's that?
it's kind of cringe.
It's cringe. It's like
It's a
a
bit cringe.
Sounds it.
yeah. I actually don't fully understand it, but it's a saying that the Hawk supporters are saying.
Ew, that's such an ick.
I don't even think that the Hawk supporters were like Dad started saying it on Friday night. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, Dad, no.
No.
But I also think that
no.
I think it started with like videos just taking a word and like changing it. Like that's
Yeah,
a thing that happens a lot, right? And then from there, like
Did it start on
their
TikTok?
social media team started using it, and then the media
social
started
media
to
teams
use
on
it.
just AFL teams or any other like local like Australian-based sporting teams have been on it lately.
They've stepped it up,
They
and
have
I
definitely stepped it
wonder.
up.
I wonder what the incentive is at a football like at
Club
any
level.
sort of club.
Yeah.
Like, is there financial incentives? Like, how do you encourage like that sort of?
What, the players to be involved or
Well,
to...
if you've got a social media team, right, they're getting
Yeah.
paid a wage.
Yeah.
But what's the incentive for them to like go to the extreme where like they make the club stand out as like the best at social media, and then do they get bonuses for that? Is there any money for them in that, or is it like?
I think
Because then, like, what's the incentive to like?
Bragging rights. It's also probably like a lot of, from my understanding, a lot of jobs in AFL or in just like pro level sport, people aren't doing it because it pays incredibly well, or it's literally because the reputation you can get from having done it at that level. Like having done it strength and conditioning at that level. Like I work for X, Y, and Z.
No, but that makes sense from like a career progression for like strength conditioning coaches.
I think it still makes sense for
but social media marketing, like what's the where do you go from there though?
To work for yourself and you just talk about how you used to work for this other company. I guess that's how it would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Newsmads, go. What do you got? What do you got for us?
News.
You've got big news, Matt. You can share your other not evolution health coaching related big news here. It's fine.
Yeah, I've got just some new business ventures on the side.
You're doing lots at the moment.
Coaching.
You're doing lots.
I feel like you're that person though that can't do nothing.
I still think I'm not doing enough. And do you
Yeah.
know what I've had really badly lately? Imposter syndrome.
You're always going to have that.
Oh
That
my
literally
god! But
came
it
out.
is so like I don't really feel like I've ever experienced it until like now.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Can I
doesn't go
do
away
this?
because
Oh,
this
that's
is
great. Awesome.
this is an industry where like you can always improve.
Yes.
Like there's no window, there's no ceiling.
Yes.
And you always feel like if you
Can
don't
do something.
I've
achieve
spent like $2,000 this week just on upskilling stuff because
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, God.
there's still things that I need to know that I'm like, I feel like I don't know.
What did I tell you when you started?
Yeah.
I think that's an important point to make. Do you remember our conversation when you were like making the leap from real estate to
Yeah.
this? What was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
just remind me though.
No, I do.
tell-
You tell the story.
The way you said it was so
It's
perfect.
so much better. You take the lead on this one.
He just said, don't do it, Mads.
Yeah, but I did it. No.
Did it anyway. No one listens to anything I say.
No, but what part are you talking about?
You don't remember.
No, the part about just doing it, or
Yeah, I think like if you're the kind of person that really cares about something, you'll try and perfect it before you launch it.
Yeah, that's
And like
right.
what I pointed out to you is like minimum viable product
Product.
is something that people don't execute on, and it means that you do something slowly instead of just rolling it out. And that's
Yeah.
one of my business coaches early on told me.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, like he made a point that like the course we were literally sitting down to do that weekend with him, he didn't have finished till the Friday before we did it.
Yeah.
So like and finished wasn't like that. This is it, and this is the end version of the course he was rolling out with us. Like there'd be a new version and a better version of that the next time he taught it.
Yeah.
And the same goes for anything coaching related, any product we do, like any coaching product you have. Your meal idea PDF, like we've done 2 of those already, right? Different versions of how you do online coaching. Like it's never going to be perfected because you're always going to learn from your experience.
Yes.
And if you try and make a perfect version of it before you launch it, you're just
You'll
going to
never
waste
get there.
so much time. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might as It's definitely. I wouldn't say like I think this is a takeaway from like the last couple of weeks of the Maya course. Is like I don't think there's definitely things that you shouldn't do with the like mindset of I'm going to fake it till I make it.
Yeah.
But if the risk of not knowing is actually really low, then just do it. Like
Yeah.
my point for Maya was that like, hey, you probably shouldn't fake it till you make it on dry
Because you
needling.
could
'Cause
actually injure
you could
someone.
quite seriously injure someone.
Yeah.
If you go into a lung, right?
Yeah.
That person might die.
Yeah.
But when it comes to rolling out a new version of like nutrition coaching,
Yeah.
just do it. If it doesn't
Or
work,
even,
it's
like-
worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's like, even if I'm just like writing someone's program, like
Yeah.
I'll just second guess everything, but I'm like,
Yeah.
what I know is probably more than what any of these guys even
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So they'll think
100%.
it's good, but to me, I'm just kind of like, oh, but it's not perfect, or there could be a better way of doing this,
Yeah.
or maybe I don't know everything. So I'm just like constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
you
you'll never
don't
know
like
everything.
you
Battling
don't
that, yeah.
and you don't have the perfect version of it, and it's never gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's just
It can't be.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be because you can, like, even someone who does a PhD in something very specific, exercise related, they still have gaps in their knowledge.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
you just do the best you can.
Yep.
So right.
Yeah.
What is it wisdom?
And and it can be mentally, it can be kind of draining.
It is. Like, I feel
Because
very exhausted.
A lot of times you just try things and you throw a bunch of things at the wall
Yeah.
and then
See
they don't
what
work
sticks.
out and then you're like, 90% of the things I do fail, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's the reality of
Yeah.
doing your own thing in general.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah, most
Then
things
at,
work.
then at least you'll know.
Well,
Like,
I think
at
you
that end of
have
it,
you
you
have
know?
to try, because if you don't, in an industry that moves as fast as ours, if you don't try, you'll fall behind,
Yeah.
right? And if you're not trying, like I think that definitely comes across with like your coaching and your business. Like you're not putting effort into it,
Yeah.
right? Like if you're not coming up with new stuff, if you're not excited about it anymore, how can your clients be,
Yeah,
right? So like,
that's very
yes,
true.
keep trying shit. If it works, it works. Doesn't, it doesn't. Move on to the next thing. Keep what parts of that worked and just go to the next thing.
Yeah.
Do it again. Rinse and repeat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good advice.
My news is that I tried on VR related. It's not a massive news thing, but I tried on the Apple Vision Pro, the Apple's AR,
Oh,
which
What
I
is
think,
that?
which is on topic for us for this
it will
podcast,
be.
right?
It will be.
Apple's VR goggle glasses. Do you have no idea what these
Why do
are?
I live under a rock?
They came out like 6 months ago, I think.
I don't know. Why do you live under a
Yeah,
rock?
mate.
I
Why do
don't
you
know
got-
what this is.
What do you?
Yeah, so if people that don't know, Apple's released their version of, is it
Am I the
VR?
only one?
It's actually a combination of VR and AR.
It's more of an AR headset, but
Yeah.
it's very overpriced.
Do you know the
It's very
difference between
expensive.
VR and AR?
AI?
AR and VR.
Nah.
So one's virtual reality, so you're in a reality that isn't yours,
Yep.
and AI is augmented reality. So like, you're in a version of your world that has stuff put into it.
Right.
So like a way to explain it is that like, we could be looking at a car in the car park, and I could place another car in that car park.
Okay, yeah.
And we can see the cars that are there at the moment,
But you just added
and we've
something
added
into
another
it.
car, so
Yeah,
we can see
okay.
what it looks like in a car park.
Yep, that makes sense.
That's AR, augmented reality, and VR, virtual reality, is like we're
Going
looking
into
at
a
a
whole thing.
we're on Mars.
It's
So
made
like
up,
what I
yeah.
did on the weekend, like there's no glass, so I can't see through anything. It's just a screen there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
AR is like it's like glass, so you
Yeah.
can see through to everything that's
Yeah.
normally there.
Oh,
But then
with
you can
added
have like
extras.
you can pop a YouTube video on the wall and watch it while you're still in the room with
Yeah.
and seeing
Right.
everything. Right.
So Apple's is a combination of both, because the AR is through not through a see-through panel of glass. It's actually through cameras that are on the front of the device that show you what the rest of the world looks like. So you're like a live camera feed of your world. You can see it. You can definitely tell that the live camera feed you're seeing is a camera feed, and you can tell that those cameras aren't as good as our vision for sight.
Is it like when they have like those scenes in the movies where it's like they're filming the person and then they film from the angle of like their eyes and they're looking
Yeah,
at
kind
it?
of like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
similar. Yeah. And so try those on. They're $6,000, I think, in
So
Australia.
what do people use these for?
Right now,
Nothing.
there's not a lot of application, especially for like Apple's
why do they
version of
buy
it.
So one, I think, actual purpose that you could use it for is if you wanted to like have like fake monitors, like
Yeah.
you could wear it at work. Like instead of having like a desk with
Yeah.
like monitors and stuff, well, you'd still need a desk, but instead of needing multiple screens, you could just have virtual screens. You can make them whatever size you want. And so, and even like movies, watching movies,
Yeah.
I think, like instead of buying a 100-inch TV so that it takes up all this space in front of you, just put on the goggles and then make the screen about 100 inches
Yeah.
so it takes up your whole field of view,
Yeah.
right?
What the hell?
Yeah.
So I could sit in my bedroom and
You
then
could
have
lie-
like a friggin'
You could
Massive.
lie facing up on your bed and then
Yeah, you could have it on the ceiling.
be completely immersive. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Wow.
anyway, $6,000 though.
$6,000,
yeah.
and I think what Apple's products, their first version of their products, if you don't remember the first iPad, do you, Mads? Too young. I had the first iPad. My parents bought it for me. I was definitely the spoiled child in my family. It was big. It was heavy. The screen quality was bad, and it was expensive back then for tablets. Like there's no other tablet that was costing anywhere near what Apple's first iPad was charging. So
I had one of those big black ones. It was like all the
the border was black.
Yeah,
so that
it
would
was
have been
like
like
the thick border.
Gen. Yeah, maybe Gen 3. Yeah.
that.
Anyway, yeah, first version Apple products, I reckon, are like just proof of concept, right? Like it's like does this work? What can we use it for? Put it out to developers, get them to start designing apps.
But also like who's buying this?
Like I literally asked that because you don't go in and just put it on in the Apple Store. You go in and like they ask you to do an appointment where it's like, she initially said it was going to be a 30-minute appointment, and I was like, oh, I don't really have 30 minutes. Could I do 15 minutes? And she's like, yeah, we could do a 15-minute one. So they did like a
Wait, did
condensed
you go
version
in
of the
and
demo.
then
Yeah,
just
yeah.
ask?
Yeah, yeah.
Or did you make an appointment beforehand?
No, I just walked past
Oh,
and
okay.
like there was literally like Apple always has. There was like 7 staff members just
Yeah,
standing
yeah,
around
yeah,
doing nothing.
yeah.
So walked
But
in
they'll
there.
still make you wait.
No, it took me straight into.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, you made me wait. I needed an Apple Genius. That's why I was waiting. Yeah. Anyway, so they pop it on. They get the sizing right. If you wear glasses, they custom make it to like work for your vision as well. And then they run you through the demo, and the demo like
How did they get that analytics? They go like.
you can use your script, your glasses
Yeah, so
script.
the
How
and you
often-
can also,
Specsavers script. You just
How
give it
often
to
have, because you guys wear glasses, I don't, right?
Yeah.
How often does your script need to change for the lens you need, though?
I
Oh.
reckon it's I think the recommendation is that you get a checkup yearly.
yearly. It's meant to
Yeah.
be yearly.
Yeah, I don't even wear my
Right.
glasses because my
Yeah.
dog ate them. So
My
there's
dog
that.
ate my homework.
No, actually, she did. Should have seen it. I couldn't find them anywhere. A little bed in pieces.
Oh no.
Um,
Silly panko.
And so I get like the $6,000. I get it. Like I wouldn't justify paying it myself.
If
but,
you had
like,
money to burn, you'd probably just be like,
If I
these would be
had,
fun.
yeah, if I had every other thing I didn't like, I wanted them as well.
Yeah.
You'd pay $6K because
Yeah.
I've tried on other VR goggles and other AR goggles, and the quality difference of the screen is like next to nothing. Like you can't see pixels. Like it just looks like real life when you're in there.
I think I'd
Yeah.
want to try the new Quest VR first
Yeah,
to see,
yeah.
because I've heard that's pretty damn
Apparently,
good as well.
that's really good too. Yeah,
But-
the price difference is like 10 times, isn't it? Quest
Well,
is like
no,
going
I
for
think the
like
Quest
700.
is like 1,200,
Is it 1200?
12 to
Yeah.
1,400.
Yeah.
So,
5 times
yeah.
the cost, right?
Yeah.
To get an Apple.
So I wouldn't expect it to be. I wouldn't expect the Apple one to be 5 times better.
No.
But I expect it to be at least a little bit better.
Yeah.
Just whether or not what you can get away with, right?
Yeah.
Pixel wise.
Yeah. And that's not really a life update, but it's on topic for our
Yes.
question and topic for today, which is where do we see fitness going in the future?
Let's say
Are we
in the
are
next
we
10
a
years.
are
10
we a
years?
job?
Next 10 years.
That's pretty soon.
Yeah,
Next 10
Yeah.
to 20 years.
20.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think lots of people are talking about AI, and they're talking about whether or not jobs are AI proof. Is PT one of those jobs? You reckon? I reckon that's question number one. Is PT AI proof? What's your opinion?
I think we're already seeing that, aren't we?
Yeah.
With online coaching.
Yep.
It's literally that.
What do you mean?
Like,
Elaborate.
as in, like, to develop programs and stuff for people,
Yeah.
you could literally ask ChatGPT right now to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody has to be in front, the coaches don't have to be in front of their clients. Literally everything's done through the screen. We're semi-halfway already there.
No, I think I agree with that. I think
Yeah.
that at a very basic level, like generating a program for someone, it's not rocket science anyway.
No.
No.
Like,
It's not hard. It makes sense that AI can do that.
any trainer who's giving you such a complex program that couldn't be done easily with AI is probably overkill anyway.
Yeah.
Because the basics generally is
So-
the way to go anyway.
Where does the nuance change? Because there is nuance to it, right?
Yeah.
Where does the nuance come in? I think it's probably injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other health conditions, like we have a few clients that are dealing with and going through menopause. That
Yeah.
changes how you train someone. Different medications, and training outcomes based on that. And then like chronic pain, like chronic lower back pain that they're dealing with, nerve stuff.
What about, like, pre and postnatal?
Yeah. But even that, I feel like there is generic. You can get it you
Yeah,
can
you
just
probably
Google.
But even
Yeah.
I think
Like-
the things you listed, like all you would have to do, like with ChatGPT for an example, you open up a new prompt and then it saves your history, right? So you can do follow up. So write me a program. That's the first step.
Yeah.
Change the program because I have a sore lower back today.
Yeah.
It could do all that stuff.
Yeah, it
could do it,
Change the program so it
Yeah.
suits someone who's in their second trimester,
Yep.
and then it would do all
Sure.
of that for you.
Yeah. Is the
Pretty
nuance
easily.
is the nuance then in like a personalized progressive overload?
No.
So no.
I think that is something that is very easy to teach yourself online without AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether you'll actually go to the effort, probably not. But you could create an app that generates a program, but then
Yep.
it also has educational content
Yeah,
like
yeah.
videos with
Yep.
voiceovers that are all AI. That can all be done.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a worry though, because like you could think of a million jobs where like little
That's the
easy
case.
tasks like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it can be
Yeah,
done
go
quite
on.
easily. It's whether or not people want the human connection that comes with both online, which is I think what we're talking about mostly here. Like online, very easy to make AI do a program for you, adjust it for you, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's whether or not you value being able to talk to a human about human problems.
Like
What's going on?
the heater.
I'll just make sure the mic's
Okay. And whether or not you actually care about the difference and whether or not there is actually a difference. Like, you could, right now, open up a web page, I'm sure there's lots of them. There was one that was even like around 10 plus years ago, where you could just have a conversation with AI, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good
Chat
at
off
just,
to-
you type into it, it types back.
Yeah. Bit tight
What
minutes.
you can't do perfectly yet, but you probably can do soon, is it'd be like a video version of that. Like, so instead of it just typing back, "Oh, hey, how are you doing today?"
Yeah.
It could be like a face that looks pretty real,
Yeah.
talking to you and having a conversation. Like, will people want that? I don't know. If it's
Yeah.
how much cheaper than an actual online coach would it need to be before you go, yeah, fuck, I'd do that.
Yeah. I think it's jobs that like the jobs that are say service-based jobs where people not necessarily require but prefer human connection, right?
But in 20 years' time, if someone walks into a gym,
Yeah.
one, there probably won't be any personal trainers on the floor. There won't be a receptionist. Like, it literally will just
No,
be
there won't.
like
Yeah.
self-check-in or like robot or whatever. So if you're talking about wanting that presence of someone in the room, you're going to go to a gym in however many years and you're never going to get that anyways.
Oh, as in like
That's grim.
yeah, you think that, but if there is a want for something and a need
Yeah.
for something, the market will
different.
fulfill that
Yeah,
need,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
gyms would never say no to having human PTs there if people want human
Yeah,
PTs.
yeah, yeah. The market dictates everything,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Yeah.
So do you reckon, it's a bit off topic,
I think people will want human connection
do
and
you
PTs.
think that all supermarkets will stay with having people on the checkouts?
I think so.
I think they'll keep one or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most
Yeah.
will go.
Yeah. Because even now, like, if you go at a certain time, there's like one person on like a normal register,
Yeah.
and the rest is like self-serve checkouts. Yeah.
But it makes me wonder, are they just going to completely get rid of...
I don't think that could no, because you're gonna have always a demographic like that get to an age where they
Can't.
requires more
Yeah,
support.
they can't use
Yeah,
that.
not that they don't know how to use or didn't know how to use previously a self-serve checkout.
Yeah.
They get into an age where it's difficult for them to use a self-serve checkout. They prefer to go through a cash register
Yeah.
and have a cashier check them out. Yeah.
But I don't know, because then I think, okay, well, if you think about the early internet, right? It had a high skills window. Like, before you were able to use the early internet, you had to understand how to use DOS.
prompts,
You had to potentially know how to code, how to get through all these like steps, right? And then eventually,
What the hell are you talking about? DOS?
like before Windows,
Before Windows.
before there
What
was
the
a
hell's that?
mouse.
Do you remember?
before
Have
there
you
was a
seen the
mouse and a
green?
screen.
There's the black screen with green writing.
And you had to like type out
Type in.
functions.
Yeah.
So
Probably
early,
old spy
early
movie you've
computers
watched.
not usable for anyone except
Yeah.
people
Swatch.
that were computer
Agent
scientists.
Cody Banks.
Yeah.
Such a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
So early computers not
Yeah.
usable for most people. Then
Yeah.
they become usable for most people.
Yeah, yeah.
Early internet trash, hard
Yeah.
to use.
Yeah.
Not really many good functions.
Yeah.
Nothing that made sense for people to actually use. And now very easy for most people to use, right? I can imagine the same being the case for supermarkets being completely automated, but actually also being foolproof for people that don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe because you've
At the
got
moment.
there are some retailers. I don't know if we have them in Australia. I think there's some in America that the trolley itself
Uniqlo.
knows. Is it Uniqlo?
Yeah,
it
Uniqlo
knows.
does it.
Yeah, there you go. It knows
You just
what's in
literally
it.
place it in, and then it scans like your garments in there, and then it brings up the screen.
Yeah.
But Woolies and Coles are doing that already because you put the bananas on the thing, and then you go to search, and it just automatically
so-
pops up.
It's got a camera that's looking down,
Yeah.
and all it's doing is going, all right, that's
It's
yellow,
registering what
and
this
it's that
image is,
shape.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's
Assuming
one
it's-
of these vegetables. Yeah,
But that's what I mean. It's only
Or fruits,
one step
yeah.
away from
Yeah.
what it's doing now.
Potentially, yeah. Yep.
In terms of equipment, what do you reckon the future
Ooh.
of gym equipment is?
Yeah. Have you guys seen the?
Oh, it'll be like you can plug in your weight, you'll plug in like what your weight is, and then it will just do it.
Everything
register,
for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
on a system. Or
I
something.
reckon it could be better than that because I reckon
Really?
it should. I reckon it should base what weight it gives you based on how hard you're pulling.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
one.
So I think it's
Yeah.
because if you give
So we
people
won't have
the
to
option,
load people's bars anymore.
Well, they've already got those pulley systems that are like varied resistance pulley systems.
that's what
right?
I think.
What is
The
it?
electric pulley system. So there's now a system. I forgot what it's called.
Why don't I know
It attaches. Because we're nerds.
You need- that's going to run out of battery soon.
Corey and I are like massive nerds when it comes to we're just nerds in general.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
plug my laptop in there. It's just gonna go flat.
Yeah, so they're like these. They're very expensive at the moment. There's some like at-home ones which like have the touch screen and stuff. But basically, it's like imagine like a cable setup, but like with electromagnets, right? So you can adjust the resistance of the pull,
Yeah.
but also, and this is where the actual I think the value is in these as well. Is we know that eccentric training is more effective than concentric, but the reason that no one does eccentric training is because it's not feasible to have someone spot you for everything, right?
Yeah.
So like building muscle, if your goal is to build muscle, having for example, like a bench press set up with more weight than you can actually push is more effective at tearing muscles and therefore the growth, right? The issue is to do that, you have to slowly lower it down with too much weight, and then someone has to pull it up off you, and then you
Yeah.
slowly lower it down, and
Yeah.
that's just annoying, right?
Yeah.
Effective, great, and if you could do that on every machine, you'd get much quicker results when lifting weights. But the problem is, like, imagine like having someone help pull your seated row in so that you can slowly lower back the weight that's heavier than what you can pull.
Yeah, okay.
It's just not. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no.
But if you have all of the machines, all of the cable stuff, all of the machines in the gym are loaded so that, for example, when you're doing a leg extension, it puts 50 kilos on the way up, or it goes from like 50, 55, 60, 65 kilos, and then on the way down, it's like 70, 75,
Goes
80,
up.
85.
Yeah, okay.
That would be the most effective way to train.
Wow, it's wild.
And so I think that
That'd
would
be
be,
pretty
I'd love to see that be
That
the
would be
future
cool.
of equipment.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's like the wall setups are kind of like, I think 10 grand American to get, and they have to install it in your house. And it's just
Yeah.
one, I think that's one there.
That's it. Yeah.
Tonal. So
Tonal. Yeah.
I think Tonal is about 10,000 US, and
Yeah.
currently you can't get them in Australia, and they force you to get it installed by one of their professionals. So they probably chuck on an
Labour.
extra fee for that.
Yeah.
Here's the one I was talking about. What's it called? Scroll up a little bit. Beyond Power Voltra. Yeah. So it attaches to a squat rack, and it's like a little cable pulley system.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can literally do any cable-based exercise.
So
and
who's
you
doing
can
this
choose-
already? Who's training like this? People in
Really?
America?
Yeah, the US definitely leads in terms of trying this stuff, but it's also a very small market in the US that's actually doing it because the cost, right? Like a lot of these newer things, it's the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, not to say gym equipment's cheap, like we fitted
Do you
our gym
think-
out and it was expensive, but you have to have all that stuff already, and then you have to add on this
Add
stuff.
on this, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what makes it more
Do you reckon
expensive.
the US is way far in advance in terms of like training in gym than Australia is?
In terms of the general population training, or in
Yeah.
terms of athlete population training,
Gen pop.
Gen Pop?
Or the general population of their trainers over there as well.
Gen Pop trainers in the US,
Mm.
are they better than Gen Pop trainers? Yeah, I don't think so. I think the science of training, like people in general, isn't that complicated. So how much further could they be ahead
Yeah.
than us? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's adapting, it's evolving. I think.
But you see, like, I guess the trainers that, this is athlete level, but like the Olympian bodybuilders, right? Like
Yeah.
they're doing shit that I'm like, the fuck is this?
Oh, right.
Like
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that I've never ever seen before.
Exercise
that
you
will
haven't seen.
target
Yeah.
like the smallest, part of
Specific
like the
muscle
muscle
groups,
or whatever. But I'm like,
It's
I
not-
don't see anyone doing that.
I think
here.
that's actually, I mean, maybe this is a topic for another time, but I think when people see athletes training in like a gym and they've got like these coaches giving them like weird, like, quarter squats or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
People straight away go into the comment, oh, do a full rep squat, blah, blah, blah. And people, I think, misunderstand the point of like athlete-specific weight training.
Yeah.
and they just go like, why are these guys not doing proper
That's
full
because
squats?
they've already done all of that. Like their body's at a point where like they don't actually need to train like that anymore because they're far in advance.
And also, well, there's a few factors at play there. Like, but one of them is like, if you're a basketball player, the movement pattern the movement pattern of a full squat is something you'll never do in the sport.
No,
and if you
unless you're full.
If you ask a basketball player at the elite level, like, what do they want to do? Do they want to have a sick 200 kilo squat at full depth and do a powerlifting comp? Or do they want to be better at basketball?
Yeah.
And if their answer, which it will be, I just want to be the best as basketball.
Yeah.
Doing a full squat's not going to help them because the lowest they'll ever get in a jump is a quarter squat. So you train a quarter squat because all you do when you jump is drop down into a quarter squat and then go up.
Yeah.
Right? So going lower than that.
What is it? Pogo jump?
Pogos,
Yeah, all that like plyo stuff as well.
Plyo,
Plyo,
I do think sometimes those coaches. What is this?
LeBron James training program.
All right.
Yeah, no, I've seen some videos. I'm like, that's wild. Like, what is he doing? But you know, like, I'm sure they have the best.
It's
working
just
with them. Like
most S&C coaches just look at a game. They look at what movements people go through in like 90-minute game or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they go, right, let's make sure that those movements are done correctly and we strengthen up those ranges. So it does involve a lot of dumb shit. Like.
You should see how like beach sprinters train. Like you would look at their gym program and be like, what the fuck are they doing? Because it's all just like power based.
Yeah.
To get off the sand.
Yeah. I mean, any power based sport's gonna have like that's what they're gonna train, right? Yeah. I'm watching ads because I've got PovSpec YouTube.
Do you pay for premium?
Corey pays for premium YouTube.
Yeah, I've been.
I used to pay.
Yeah, so did I. Because when I was on like flying a lot, I always want to watch my YouTube videos. But
and you could save them, couldn't you?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I think that what gets shown on YouTube and what people see, like this happens frequently. Like for me, like someone will be like, "Oh, did you see this person do that?" I guarantee what they're showing you is not their full training program. It's the highlights.
Yeah.
It's the exciting parts. The stuff the social media team knows is going to get good views, and keep you engaged. Yeah. So you're never seeing the whole week of training to understand fully the scope of what they do. Yeah, because a lot of the stuff they're doing is probably boring.
Yeah.
It's just the exciting stuff, like The Rock with chains on his neck doing dips. I'm sure that's not all he does. Yeah.
That's 100% all he does. So he just trains his triceps.
Yeah. Trains just dips. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think? All right. Well, on that topic, so I think that especially in the athlete population, AI and technology won't take the jobs of coaches. I think those coaches will still definitely be there. Yeah, maybe if you were to say that what's the highest risk part of what we do as fitness like coaches, it probably is the online part of it that's gonna take the biggest hit because of the ability to not have to physically be there as a person.
It online.
Yeah.
Online literally just does it.
Yeah. It's great to be able to have a program written for you by computer and have a bunch of videos showing you how to do said exercise. But when you actually see people then try and do that movement after seeing the video, their body's not doing what the video says most of the time, at least early on.
Yeah.
You just don't know how to move your body properly.
Yeah.
And so when someone says to you, "Oh, I've looked at your technique, change this up," like that's a process that's a back and forth when it's online that can take unnecessary hours.
Yeah.
Like someone films themselves doing deadlifts, they upload it, they send it through to their online coach. Their online coach looks at it, sends them back a video or types out some text. Then it's like another week before they go back into the gym to do deadlifts again. They go back in, they fix some things, but then there's new problems.
Just to do.
And then teaching a deadlift has, instead of being something that could have been fixed in 5 to 10 minutes of in-person sort of manipulation, it's a 3-week process. That's where I think that's probably not something that will go away because of the fact that it's just not it's not efficient to do it the other way. You
can apply obviously some touch and some proprioceptive feedback to the person as they're moving to like get them to move the right way, that you just obviously can't do virtually. Yeah.
But maybe in 20 years, those robots could be doing the touching. And would you prefer to be touched by a human or a robot? I would be.
Oh God.
It wouldn't feel as inappropriate if it's just like a metal robot sort of pulling your hips
I
backwards.
think that would be
know.
really scary.
Yeah.
I
Scary.
envision like iLegend. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
iRobot.
iRobot. You mix the two movies together.
Yeah, same actor.
Just Will Smith movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I envision iRobot, and that just scares a little bit of
Yeah.
crap out of me.
Uh,
Because
I
it
love
would go
that
to
movie
touch you,
growing
and then
up.
it'd be like, jokes, I'll probably
But
like
it's
stab you
also
or
cold.
something.
It'd be cold.
Ooh.
Yeah.
no.
Maybe they'd have heaters in the
Of
hands.
course
Yeah,
they would.
true.
They're
Yeah.
robots. They've got batteries in them.
Yeah.
They can heat up their hands.
Yeah. It'd actually be part of the thermic cooling by
Yeah.
putting some of the heat into
It
your
would
hands.
actually pick up what your temperature is and then match your hands to that.
Slightly warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, our
Yeah.
jobs are not. We're
Yeah.
done. We're done.
We're
for.
done. 20 years
I
time.
can't match the
warm.
So
that
might as well just
service.
stop now.
Yeah.
that service of a robot. Could have a little pouch inside it which has water, like fresh water, and you just, like, a hose comes out of its mouth and like, gives you water like a baby bird.
Like a penguin.
It's got a defib built in.
Anyways.
Yeah.
That's- I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Scanning health data. That'd
Yeah,
be
yeah.
cool. Yep.
Sees when you're not struggling enough and goes like pushes you harder.
Yeah.
Sees when you're on the
Or
verge of
it
death.
just looks at you, gives you a DEXA scan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we can't
Yeah.
compete with this.
No.
No. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm excited for that. At that point, I'll just become like the robot technician. I'm happy to just repair that thing when it
Repair the
breaks
robot.
down. Yeah.
The robots will repairing the other robots.
Yeah, I was going to say they would have robots for that. Because
Who
why would they?
repairs those robots?
Well, why would
Come
they?
on.
I don't
It's a
know.
circle.
Computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a circle. I guess
Yeah.
that's
Because why
kinda
would they
fair.
have people doing that?
Because
Circle
humans
robots.
repair other humans, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
On that note, how many years do we have left?
Oh my God.
To be honest, for me, at
You
my
guys
age right
less.
now, I feel like 2.
2. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Already can't keep up with all the new sayings and
So what's
The
Whatnot.
Fupa?
memes, the fupa. Yeah. What is fupa?
I think
What is a fupa?
I think I'm saying I think it's faux pas.
Faux pas.
Faux pas.
Oh, that's very
Sounds
different.
like a dish.
What do you what wait, Laurie is off camera and she's deciding to have some input. What's
It's an
what
abbreviation.
of?
It's fatty upper pelvic
Area.
area. I think it is.
That's not the same thing I was
So
talking
what are
about.
you
guys.
talking about? Because that's what I thought
A
fupa was.
yeah, so a faux pas, and I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Yeah, no, faux pas is a different word. Yeah.
Is this is a word I learned yesterday, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Is something that's like a big no-no. So yesterday, context.
A slip or a blunder in etiquette.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
in
big
etiquette,
no-no.
a big no-no. Yeah. So an etiquette no-no was essentially how it was described to me.
Oh.
And what happened was yesterday we were like having a communal lunch in class. Someone brought in food for us, and someone dropped the serving spoon into the curry. And she's like, "Oh, that's a social faux pas." I'm like, "There you go." That's-
Why?
Wait, the serving spoon.
Well, you don't want to put the spoon into the curry. Like, she dropped the entire spoon in there with the handle and everything.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Like the handle.
Oh, you mean
okay.
as
The
in now
full
you
spoon
can't-
is
No. I don't think that's the right use of faux pas then,
No.
because faux pas is like, all right, you've gone against like the general etiquette of a situation.
That's like
dropping a
spitting
spoon
out
into
your
something
food.
is I made a mistake.
It's like being at a restaurant and like spitting out your food. Like that's not good etiquette. But like dropping a spoon, that's an accident.
That's an accident. Unless you did it on purpose, but then it's still not a faux pas. You're just an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Anyway,
I don't know if that's right.
talking about the gross no-nos, what was the other thing that came out? Oh, someone I won't name the person, so we don't. I don't think anyone listens to this. Not enough people. Not enough people listen to this for us to get in trouble for saying actually who the people
In
are.
10
we're talking
years
about.
from now,
10
though, you
years,
never know.
There'll be evidence.
It's like Facebook.
AI
memories.
transcript of our podcast.
Yeah.
That's already happening, I think.
Old
anyway.
Twitter stuff and old
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah.
stuff will get you
Anyway,
eventually.
said person at their workplace have a few people that they've noticed don't wash their hands after going to the toilet.
Still.
And they're all in the lunchroom, and one of them was describing how to cut sandwiches. And someone touched his sandwich with his hand, and this one of the guy that touched the sandwich was someone that didn't wash their hands. So
Yeah.
he's a known
Serial offender. for not
an
washing
offender
your
of not washing their hands.
Oh.
And anyway, the sandwich had to get thrown away. Didn't need it. He had to throw it away.
Yeah. In a world where it's very easy to wash your hands.
Yeah.
It's very convenient to wash your hands.
Yeah.
It's wild, but people still do that.
Still don't. You know, no. My pet hate is when people. I think it happens more frequently in the male change room situation than it would in the females. People wet their hands. Like they turn the tap on.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that's it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's not a wash. It's a wet.
That's almost one.
It's a wet.
That's
so
probably 1 in 3 females.
So socially, you can say I did wash my hands because they're
Yes,
wet,
Yeah.
but you
You
didn't
didn't
wash your
actually wash
hands.
your
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I don't like about public places and washing hands, like the public toilet stage, is the soap stinks. So that's my biggest thing. Because if I'm shopping and I'm using
Yeah.
like
You know what
the
else
shopping-
stinks? Food poisoning.
All right, we've detoured. We've detoured so much now. All right, let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap
This
it
is
up.
not going
We're going,
anywhere.
going all that complete left field. Anyway, if you think AI is going to take over your job, comment down below and we can find a new job for you.
And if you don't wash your hands, comment below
Start
as well.
washing
Comment
your
below.
hands.
Call yourself out.
Call yourself out
Let us
and be
know.
better.
Let us know so we can.
No one's calling themselves that. People need to, but they don't.
Yeah. I've got evidence as to how frequently and how much time I wash my hands for because
Yeah,
my
'cause
Apple
of
Watch
the Apple
tracking
Watch.
thing. Did you turn that on?
Yes, I turned
You
that
did?
on, yes.
Get on it, Corey. Get an Apple
I
Watch.
don't have an Apple Watch.
Get one so you can
Who
do
doesn't-
this. There's a feature on your Apple Watch for people that don't know
You're
that
a
can
PT
track
without an Apple Watch.
What?
how long
That's
you
the
can
first
wash your
one.
hands.
Do you have a Fitbit?
Well, how long do you
I've got
wash your
nothing.
hands for and how frequently you wash your hands in a day.
He doesn't even have a Fitbit.
No.
What the hell? How do you track your steps?
He doesn't.
Phone?
My phone.
He's
it's
always in
your
his pocket. He's got shorts with pockets. I can't do that. I can't do shorts with pockets.
That's a big no-no. That's
Right,
a fupa.
this is.
That's a pooper.
We're going to run out of storage on this.
Faux pas.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
See ya.